हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा। Begin now.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण।
Your voice is not coming, प्रभु जी।
How is the sound now?
Voice not coming, प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, yeah, now we can hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, now. Dandavat pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Mataji, you can also hear me now?
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes,
Is
प्रभु
it
जी। Now we are able to hear.
is it clear?
Yes, प्रभु जी, clear.
Okay. Om Agyatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Today we'll be discussing chapter 7. Chapter 7 is a scheduled incarnation with specific functions. We saw last week after answering various questions of Narada concerning creation, dissolution, and others. Brahmaji glorifies Vasudev, and then at the end he ended by saying, now I will describe the Leela avatars, the various incarnations of the Lord. Okay. So this chapter is divided in two major section. Like if we see the first canto, third chapter, also describes the name of chapter is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there are describes the various incarnations. And then come to the conclusion that how Krishna is the supreme, the supreme, and the source of all the incarnation. So various incarnations is here described by Brahma to Narada, and this conversation is happening during like Satya Yuga time, and this is quoted again by Sukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, and he's quoting the conversation in the beginning when Narad Muni was not realized, or when he was unsure of who is God, and he's asking Brahma, "Are you God? Where is this creation? How is this universe maintained? Who's austere? Who's you perform austerity? Whom are you trying to please? We see nobody other than you." And then Brahmaji had a detailed conversation, and after describing that how I'm only a puppet and everything is by the grace of the Lord. And the shelter of the universe is also Vasudev, Krishna, Narayan. Um, and I'm only a secondary creator, and me, Shiva, and others, whatever we are able to perform is because of the empowerment that we have received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And nobody can understand him, not even me and Shiva, and yourself and other devatas. Um, everything comes from him and everything merges into him. After describing the glories of the Lord, then he says, "Now I will describe about the different incarnations." Uh, Brahmaji is telling, and he began right away from the first verse itself, goes into the various um, um, incarnations. There is an incarnation, then what was the main activity of that incarnation? Or maybe who was the father and mother of that incarnation? Those things are, so we will go in detail of those incarnation. The first one is Varaha. Varahadev came to, like, devotee should find joy in speaking the glories and hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord, um, who are all different forms of Krishna or different expansions of Krishna. So first one is Varaha. Lord Krishna came as Varahadev. He took the form of a boar. Um, he came because Mother Earth was pushed by Hiranyaksha, and Mother Earth lost the balance. So went down in the nether regions of the ocean, in the Garbhodak ocean, fell down into the Garbhodak ocean, and all the living entities has almost died. Um, lot of suffering the whole planet was going through. Then all the devatas and Brahma became very much concerned, and from the nose of Brahma came this form of Varaha. He went and he took a huge form, and his tusk was so big that the entire Mother Earth can sit on the whole nostril hole of the tusk of the Lord. And then he was carrying Mother Earth up. And then with his own tusk, he pierced the abdomen of Hiranyaksha when Hiranyaksha wanted to impede the Lord saving Mother Earth. Then that's when Hiranyaksha was killed by Varahadev. Then the second incarnation is Yagya. Some of you may not have heard about this incarnation. Yagya is also called by the name Suyagya or Yagya. Yagya was mother of Yagya was Akuti, and those who don't know Akuti was the sister of Devahuti. And Akuti and Devahuti, real sisters. And Devahuti and Akuti were both the daughters of Swayambhuva Manu. And there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and the first Manu is Swayambhuva Manu. And this dynasty of first Manu is great. This is naturally Satya Yuga because um, Yeah, I mean, this is the age of Satya Yoga that we are talking about. Manu rules for 71 Divya Yogas, every Manu. And 14 times Manu changes. The first Manu is Swambhuva Manu. And the seventh Manu, where we are currently, is Vaivasvat Manu. Uh, when Lord Krishna himself comes, Lord Krishna comes once in the whole day of Brahma. Various incarnation comes in every um, like reign, or when the Manu rules during the whole duration. Lot of incarnation comes, but Swam Bhagavan Krishna comes only in during the seventh Manvantara of Vaivasvat Manu. Uh, so Swambhuva Manu had a daughter Devahuti. Devahuti had a sister Akuti. Akuti got married to a Prajapati whose name was Ruchi, and from Akuti and Ruchi came a child who was the incarnation of the Lord, and his name was Yagya. And why? What was his main purpose of coming? Um, it is said that now naturally there is many demigods like Indra, there is Brahma, and there are others. So it is said that when there is no qualified personality to rule the post of Indra or Brahma or others, then the Lord Himself take that post, because Lord is a maintainer. Whenever there is lack of something, no qualified person, then all right, Lord will rule till there is a qualified person. That also shows it takes a lot of qualification to get to this post of becoming the Indra and becoming Brahma. So when there was no qualified person, then Lord himself came as Yagya, and he was throned as the king of Swarga. And when he became the king of Swarga, or took the position of Indra, he diminished the miseries of all the three planetary systems. All the suffering was gone. He ruled it in such a way. Um, so this is about Yagya. Then Yagya also had a son whose name is Devata Yama. Yama is Dharmaraj or Yamaraj, who came as Vidura also. So Yamaraj was the son of Akuti. Akuti was the son of Swambhuva Manu. And if you see Devahuti uh, dynasty is great. From Swambhuva Manu dynasty is great. From one daughter Devahuti came Kardama Muni, who is incarnation of Lord. From another daughter Akuti came Yagya, who is also incarnation of Lord. And from Yama, who is the son of Akuti, from Yama came, or Yamaraj came, Nar Narayan Rishi, who is also incarnation of God. So three incarnations are right here in just three generations. Two generations, there are three incarnations of Lord. This is so wonderful, this dynasty. Then there is Lord Kapila. We just discussed Lord Kapila was the son of Devahuti, and her father was Kadava Muni. The main activity of Lord Kapila was he gave knowledge, the science, spoke the science of self-realization to Mother Devahuti. And Mother Devahuti was liberated and went back to Godhead. This was the main purpose of Kapila Muni, is his teachings. Then there is Dattatreya. Dattatreya, I'm sure most of you know, Dattatreya was born to Anusuya. Uh, Anusuya and Atri Muni. Anusuya was the daughter of Devahuti. So we can see how glorious is Swambhava Manu's dynasty. Um, from Akuti came Yagya. From Yagya came Yamaraj. From Yamaraj came Nandarayan Rishi. And from Devahuti came Lord Kapila. Then Lord Kapila's sister was um, 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 Anusuya. And from Anusuya came Dattatreya. And Anusuya is also mentioned as one of the most chaste women. And in order to test the chastity, even Parvati and um, Savitri and Saraswati, even they are amazed by seeing the chastity of Anusuya. So they sent their husband to check the chastity of Anusuya, and they told Anusuya that we want. They came as sannyasis, sages. So they told Mother Anusuya that we want you to feed us without clothes, to check, to test the chastity of Mother Anusuya. Mother Anusuya is one of the most chaste women, um, glorified even by Parvati and Indra's wife, um, and Brahma's wife, Saraswati. So Mother Anusuya became like concerned, how do I do it? Then by Lord's mercy, um, Anusuya took the water from the Atri Muni's Kamandalu and she splashed it on the three sages, and she told them that may you become little children, like who are 1 2 years old, who can't, like little children were less than a year, and then she breastfed them, um, and in that way her chastity was remained because she took the form of a mother. And these three devatas, they were very pleased, and when in the evening Atri Muni, and the husband of Anusuya Devi, when he came, he was very much surprised to see. He could understand that these three are none other than Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And then they were so pleased. So they all three, and she did not had a child. So these three, they blessed her by saying, "We all three will become your child." And it is said that Brahma, he came as Soma. Soma is moon god, and he appeared as the son of Anusuya. And then Dattatreya, who is a manifestation of Vishnu, he came as, when Vishnu came as Dattatreya, Shiva came as Durvasa Rishi. We have heard many pastimes of Durvasa with Maharaj Ambarish and Durvasa during Lord Krishna's time also. So Durvasa Muni, Soma, moon god, and Dattatreya. So they appeared to Mother Anusuya. Um, and his main purpose of Dattatreya, he traveled in a form of a Brahmana, and he gave a lot of blessings and purified any living entity or the kings. He purified the kings who would render service to him. It is said that he also went to the king of Yadus, and king of Yadus, by serving this Brahmana. This also comes in 11th canto in Bhagavatam, that the Yadu king, he received this Brahmana and he served them. And by the blessing of this Brahmana, the Yadu king became purified and self-realized. So he purified um, um, Yadus and Hayas and various other clans of dynasties by traveling and his blessings. So that was Dattatreya. Then we know about four Kumaras. Four Kumaras were the first four sons of Brahma after performing various severe austerities. Um, um, After Brahma, after performing various severe austerities, gave birth to the four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, naturally, they practiced brahmacharya, renunciation, never grew more than 5 years, and their main um, function was um, uh, um, and they started a sampradaya. They established a spiritual truth. They received the knowledge from their father and from Hamsa avatar also, the swan incarnation. And then they passed on that knowledge through generations. They are the acharyas. They are still there, the four kumaras, like to propagate the message. Then um, mm, mm, now the four kumaras are not Vishnu Tattva, but we hear that among the various incarnation, some are Shaktiavesh, some are Gunavataras, some are Leela Avataras, some are Manvantara Avataras. So they are Shaktiavesh, empowered to spread the message of the Lord. Then there is Nandarayan Rishi, we saw from Dharmaraj or Yamaraj, who was the son of Yagya, who was the son of Akuti, and um, Ruchi, Akuti, who was the son of Kardama Muni. Um, no, who was the son of Swambhuva Manu. So from Dharmaraj and Murti, um, the wife of one of the wife of Yamaraj, came Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi lived in Himalayas. One of his main function was to uh, teach how to perform uh, austerities and penance. Then another story that relates to Narayan Rishi that is mentioned in this chapter is Narayan Rishi has no sex desire. It is said that Bhagavatam says there are no living entities who have no sex desire other than Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi is basically Krishna and Arjuna. They came as Narayan Rishi. Um, and then there is an instance when Cupid is like um, um, the demigod in charge for lusty desires, basically. So he came with many of the other apsaras, uh, youthful girls, um, to distract Narayan Rishi from performing austerity sent by Indra. Um, but Narayan Rishi were, because the Supreme Lord himself and the pure devotee of the Lord were, was completely undisturbed. And when they saw and all these apsaras are dancing, the Nara smiled at the foolishness of Indra. Nara Rishi just started smiling and they are dancing and Cupid is doing all his charms and Nara Rishi are just open their eyes and he's smiling. Then Narayan Rishi, he from his thigh, he created many apsaras. Each of them were more beautiful than the apsaras who came with Cupid. And then he told Cupid that you take any apsara you want and give it as a gift to Indra. So they chose Urvashi. That's how Urvashi went to Indra, created from the thigh of Narayan Rishi. And then another thing that is mentioned about Narayan Rishi is um, there is no anger in them. So there it says that even Lord Shiva becomes angry. Um, and there is an instance of the Cupid wanted to test Lord Shiva, and he went and he like agitated Lord Shiva with sex desire. And Lord Shiva became very angry, like, why this desire came to me? And Lord Shiva opened his eyes and he saw Cupid is trying to play his charms on Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva became very angry and he, with his eyes, he burned the body of Cupid. And Cupid became just like subtle body. The gross body was burnt. So even Lord Shiva became angry when he was tested by Cupid. And we see when Narayan Rishi was tested by Cupid with Apsaras, Narayan Rishi simply smiled and he created more beautiful Apsaras than who Cupid brought. It is said that absolutely, and it is said when lust is there, anger is there. But Narayan Rishi never becomes angry, and that's then it says, how can there be lust in Narayan Rishi when there is no anger? They both will occur simultaneously because anger comes from lust. And then Prabhupada also says in the purport in that verse that see, there are many pastimes of Brahma becoming angry, Shiva becoming angry, and other devatas becoming angry, but there is no pastime of Lord Vishnu becoming angry for any other reason other than when the devotees are disturbed or like Lord Nrsingadev. But there is no instance for a personal reason. Like Lord Shiva became angry because how dare you try to influence me? That's why I became angry. But Narayan Rishi never became angry. There is no anger in the Lord. Then Prabhupada also quotes the story of Bhrigu Muni. Bhrigu Muni wanted to test Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva and see who is the supreme. So Bhrigu Muni went to Brahma, and when Bhrigu Muni went to Brahma, he did not pay obeisances. So Brahma became angry but Brahma tolerated his anger. So Bhrigu understood that then and that Brahma became angry. Then Bhrigu went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was the brother. Yeah, Lord Shiva was the brother. uh, mm, Brother of Bhrigu because they are both sons of Brahma. So Lord Shiva wanted to embrace Bhrigu and Bhrigu said, "Hey, stay away. You um, put ashes and live in crematorium and don't even take proper baths. Stay away from me. So Lord Shiva became angry also. Then Brigumuni went to Narayan. Narayan was taking rest. Brigumuni went and he kicked Narayan on his chest. Um, Narayan opened his eyes. Narayan became very much concerned. So Lord Vishnu, Narayan, he told Brigumuni, please forgive me. My chest is very hard and your lotus feet are so soft. Your lotus feet may have been hurt. And um, uh, by hearing this,
Not
Brigumuni,
again.
by hearing this, um, Bhrigu Muni was very much amazed. Wow. So then he came and he told all the other Brahmanas that, see, Lord Vishnu, there is no instance of Narayan becoming angry. Anything you do to him, there is no anger in him. Um, Only spiritual anger is there. Um, so this is about Narayan Rishi, and then there is Prishni Garbha, who we see Krishna also says to Devaki and Vasudev that I came as Prishni Garbha, then I came as came as Prishni Garbha in my first birth. In my second birth, I came as son of Aditi as Vaman Dev. And in my third, I have come in my original form as Vasudeva and Devaki. So Prishni Garbha is mentioned in 10th Canto Bhagavatam also. So Prishni Garbha is mentioned, one of the activity that he did is, he is the one who came to Maharaj Dhruva when Maharaj Dhruva was instructed by Narad Muni when he wanted a kingdom bigger and bigger than his great grandfather. The Narad Muni instructed him that you go to the forest, you perform austerity, you chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, you worship the deity form of the Lord made with sand and worship with flowers. And he worshipped the Lord just as instructed by his spiritual master. Then Prishni Garbha came. So that is another incarnation. Then there is Maharaj Prithu. This Maharaj Prithu, those who don't know, there was a very nice, pure devotee king. His name was King Anga. And Anga Maharaj, who was a pure devotee, he had a son whose name was Vena. And Vena was very cruel person, and he would find his happiness by hitting and by crime and all by all these means. So the father was very much frustrated by the atrocities of the son, and father renounced um, and went to the forest. So Vena, King Vena, he took over and became the king. And when he became the king, the falsity, um, adharma increased in the nation. Srila Prabhupada says there, when the king is corrupt, the whole nation will be affected. But when the king is a pure devotee, then the whole nation will be uplifted. And we see that in today's example also. So King Vena, all the adharma in grew, the Brahmanas became very upset. Brahmanas, the king is meant to take guidance from Brahmanas. Um, um, but King Vena, he would tell the Brahmanas that the king is a representation of God. So I am God. All you Brahmanas, you all worship me. Ideally, the king should listen and do whatever Brahmana says. Brahman is head of the society, and Kshatriyas are the hand. They are meant to give protection, but their intelligence comes from Brahmanas. Um, so the Brahmana became very angry, and by chanting loud mantras, they killed Vena. Then and now who is going to be the next king? So the Vena body was churned, and from that Maharaj Prithu came. And Maharaj Prithu, he gave liberation to Vena, his father. Um, uh, and he ruled the kingdom properly. Um, mm. See, this is how the Lord maintains actually. Um, like, for example, if it's Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga, and the dharma is meant to be established there. Even in Dwapar Yuga, dharma has to be there. In Kali Yuga, no need of dharma. Lord will not come in Kali Yuga to establish dharma. And the nature of Kali Yuga is degradation to the abysmal extent. And no limit to how degraded Kali Yuga will go in future. But in other yugas, na, um, whenever like adharma is increasing means that's like more like Kali Yuga. That is not possible in Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Satya Yuga. And so the Lord Himself manifested to establish dharma again. So like there is Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and it has to go in a certain way. There has to be a certain mindset and a certain dharma principles and a certain quality of people who are all of the same type. So they have to be maintained. Any discrepancies here and there, the Lord Himself comes. But when it comes to Kali Yuga, He came as Lord Chaitanya to establish dharma, to deliver, to give the most um, um, the easiest way in the smallest time to attain the same desirable goal of prema, Krishna prema, that is not attainable even in Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, because he is the most merciful incarnation. But after that, Kali Yuga will degrade, and the kings are degraded, everybody is degraded, and Lord will not come to take birth as a king in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, this is what is the destiny of this Yuga. So the Lord Himself came to establish the rule as Maharaj Prithu. And because Vena was a very cruel king, it is said that when there is a rise in adharma, Mother Earth withdraws from giving vegetation, ores or diamonds and jewelries, whatever is needed for the civilization. Mother Earth does not give. So when Vena started ruling, Mother Earth withdrew, um, and it was a very bad age in a way. The glimpse of Kali Yuga during King Vena's. That's when Maharaj Prithu came. So Maharaj Prithu he churned Mother Earth also, or he forced Mother Earth. And when by his rule of Maharaj Prithu, then again Mother Earth started giving profuse amount of gold and diamonds and vegetation and greenery and crops and everything again started coming. But naturally, has all. Mother Earth is not giving now; she is withdrawing. And that's why people are using artificial means of GMOs, genetically modified things, but everything is in a degradation, and they will keep on degrading till Mother Earth completely withdraws, and there will be no anna, no grain remains, only flesh will remain. So this is Maharaj Prithu, who it is said that he milked Mother Earth, he churned Mother Earth, and Mother Earth gave all kind of crops. Then the next, which is the 10th incarnation, is Lord Rishabdev. Lord Rishabdev, many of you may have heard. He comes in the fifth canto. His son was very famous, who was Bharat Maharaj, who became attached to deer. So Bharat Maharaj, father, was the incarnation of Lord, as his name was Lord Rishabdev. And Lord Rishabdev um, showed equilibrium of mind. He practiced yoga for equilibrium of mind. He took renunciation like an avadut. After giving instruction to his son, he left, and he showed how to leave the world. He became unattached. People will condemn him and disrespect him, and Maharaj Rishabdev exhibited a completely inner consciousness, and was unaffected by how the world would deal with him. Um, um, and gradually he disappeared and went back. So this is Lord Rishabdev. He came as the son of Sudevi and King Nabhi, another incarnation of Lord. Then there is Hayagriva. Those who don't know Hayagriva is the horse incarnation of the Lord. Um, and it is said when Hayagriva would breathe, from his breathing, the Vedas, the beautiful sound of the Vedas would emanate from this horse incarnation. And he is said as the personified yagyas, because usually horses are used for sacrifice. The Ashwamedh yagya hota hai. So he is the personified yagya, and he was such a beautiful horse. Every incarnation of Lord is described as the most beautiful, and all the activities of the Lord in any form are most wonderful. He's the most beautiful and he's the most wonderful. Whether it is Rishabdev, whether Maharaj Prithu, whether it is Narayan Rishi, any form of the Lord, their activities are wonderful. And this this horse came and he was very beautiful, um, like a yagya personified. And when he would breathe, the Vedas were chanted, and that's how the Vedas came out again through the breathing of Hayagriva incarnation. Then there is Matsya Avatar, another wonderful pastimes of the Lord. So after every Manvantara, there is a partial annihilation. So what happened? Two things happened. This is during the Vaivasvat Manu. At the end of Vaivasvat Manu, there was a partial annihilation. And during the time of partial annihilation, up to like below Tapalok, leaving the four higher planetary systems below, everything is filled by water. Now, when we see ferocious tsunamis or water, it's very scary. And imagine the planetary systems are filled by water. How scary will that be? The whole, imagine if you can see from top of Mother Earth and whole Mother Earth, the entire, wherever you are staying, it's like tsunami, ocean everywhere. Very, very scary. So Brahma, when he saw that most of the planetary systems, not just planets, planetary systems are submerged in the ferocious waves of water, Brahma became very scared. So from Brahma keeps Vedic knowledge with him, the Vedas with him. And Vedas have all the mystical powers also. People can misuse Vedas. Um, they can misuse Vedas mm, mm, to gain lot of sound outside. People can use people, demoniac people, they can misuse Vedic knowledge to gain mystical powers for destruction also. Vedas are very powerful. They have the secrets, like all the weapons, they are also nuclear weapons, they also come at the secret is mentioned in Vedas. So Brahmaji keep the Vedas within himself. And he always hold the Vedas, and he speaks the Vedas to qualified people like Narad Muni, and this knowledge is coming down in a disciplic succession. But when Brahma saw this fierce water, Brahma became scared, and when he was afraid, from his mouth came the Vedas, and then Vedas entered into the ocean and disappeared. Disappeared means lost. So now the whole world is in danger because uh, unscrupulous people can misuse this Vedic knowledge, which Brahma lost it for unlawful purpose of destruction. Um, mm, Ketava and anyways, the two demons, they stole the Vedas that time. Then Lord came as Matsya Avatar. Now two purpose of Matsya Avatar. One was because everything will be submerged in deep oceanic water. So Matsya Avatar came as a small fish to Satyavat Muni, Satyavat Rishi, the king, um, uh, mm, the king, Raja, King Satyavrata. And then the fish became, he gave shelter in a pond, and then a bigger pond, and then a very deep lake, and then into the ocean. And this fish kept on increasing. And then the fish revealed when he put him in the ocean, the form of the fish covered the ocean also. So Satyavat king, he surrendered to the fish, and he asked the fish, who are you? And he said, I am the Supreme Lord. In few days from now, a pralay will come, and the partial annihilation will come, and everything will be submerged in water. So all the rishis and all the animal kingdoms take the seeds, one species, a pair of everything, and in a huge boat where all of them can be fit. Um, and then when everything is about to be submerged, everybody remain in the boat. When everything is about to be submerged, I will come and use and tie. I will um, like that the fish has uh, a fin. So I think either um, um, either a snake or I don't remember who was used to tie from Matsya to the boat, and a huge boat, and all species were there. And during the whole time of annihilation, they were in a boat only. And then when again the planet came out after, because when there are actually three kind of annihilation. It is mentioned. It is mentioned after every um, when Manu changes, there is a semi-partial annihilation. At the end of Brahma's day, there is um, a partial annihilation. At the end of Brahma's life, there's complete annihilation. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport when Manu changes, when Devata position changes, then up to earth are submerged. During partial annihilation, up to Swarglok is destroyed, and complete annihilation, everything is destroyed. So up to Earth, so that's why, and it's a very very short duration. The purpose that time, it's not meant that everyone has to be destroyed. It's not meant, and that's why Matsya came to save all the species, and from there again Satya Yuga began from those species. So that was Matsya avatar to protect the Vedas and to save the species and the life at the end of Vivasvat Manu. Um, and then there came the Kurma. Kurma is a tortoise incarnation. Whether it is Matsya, whether it is Kurma, whether it's Narnarayan Rishi, or they all have a particular activity, and all the activities of the Lord are wonderful. So Kurma, the Lord was wanted his back to be scratched. So when there was a Samudra Manthan going on, then the Lord came as a tortoise, and then he stood behind, keeping his back underneath Mandara mountain. And as they were churning, so this tortoise incarnation, uh, uh, Kurma, Kurma avatar, he felt, this is very nice. And he was in a half sleeping posture, like enjoying the, like, when somebody scratch and it's itching, and somebody scratch, it feels good. So the Lord was having some itch. So when they started scratching with the mountain, when the Lord has itch, you cannot use your nails to scratch the Lord. So the whole Mandara mountain was used to scratch the Lord's body, and the all the devatas and all the demons were indirectly serving the Lord by scratching his back. And he felt Kurma avatar felt very good, and he had his half closed eyes, and he was relishing. So that is Kurma. One is itch, and one is Samudra Manthan can happen. Um, and then there is Lord Nrsingadev, and Lord Nrsingadev is glorious. Kurma is glorious, Matsya is glorious, all incarnations are glorious. Then Lord Nrsimhadev came to show the anger incarnation of the Lord, um, to punish Hiranyakashipu, who tried to um, um, give trouble to his devotee. When Lord devotees are put in trouble, then the Lord take a fearful form, and that was Lord Nrsingadev. And he was roaring, and he was angry, and his eyeballs were red, and he was showing like fearful teeth and and like this, like a lion, he was showing his fearful and um, um mm, very very fearsome form. Lord Nrsingadev came. Then Lord came as Hari, uh, um, Gajendra. Um, Gajendra offered beautiful prayers when he was when one of the leg of Gajendra, the elephant, was um, being cut or chewed by a crocodile. Then Gajendra offered beautiful prayers to the Lord. He actually did not pray to the Lord for protection. It is said that Gajendra prayed, O Adi Purusha, Akhila Lokanath, Tirtha Shravaha, Shravana Mangala, Namadheya, Adipur, O original person, who is the Lord of all the Akhila Lok, all the universes, oh, the Lord of all the universes. Tirtha Shrava, oh, who is holy places personified. Shravana Mangala, oh, whose name and whose hearing is very, very auspicious. So he was just calling the name with these, he was just calling the Lord with these names. He was just glorifying the Lord through these various words, and he did not ask anything, but he was praying, he was calling out to the Lord, connecting with the Lord with topmost devotion. And the Lord came as Hari, and with his Sudarshan Chakra, he cut off the head of crocodile and he lifted Gajendra. This Gajendra Moksha pastime. So Lord came as Hari. Then there is Vaman Dev. Vaman Dev came as the youngest son of Aditi, who is basically younger brother of Indra. But he surpassed all the qualities of all the other devatas, and he was the most qualified son. Even Indra would come and take guidance from his youngest son, who was Vaman Dev. And Vaman Dev and Bali Maharaj performed his last yagya, which was meant to, the completion of the yagya was meant to make Bali Maharaj King Indra, take the post of Indra. So Indra was very much scared because Indra knew anybody who performs 100 Ashwamedh yagya will take my post. So Indra was scared. Mother Aditi was also very scared, and Bali Maharaj was born in a family of demoniac people. He was the grandson, great grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. But Bali Maharaj was a devotee. He had a lot of respect for Narayan, but still he was in a demoniac family. He was not a pure devotee and he did not have full surrender, but he became fully surrendered after this particular pastime. So now Bali Maharaj was meant, Bali Maharaj has an intense desire. Now, naturally, the demons, they want to conquer Swargalok and defeat Indra. Um, so Bali Maharaj, they do it by, Bali Maharaj knew, by sacrifice to Vishnu, I can defeat Indra in Swarglok and take over. So this is the last sacrifice, and his guru Shukracharya is the guru of the demoniac people, and he naturally favors them, and he knows how to perform all the yagyas. He's a Brahmana, qualified Brahmana, Shukracharya, but he uses his Brahmanical power for against the Lord and the Devatas. So now the last step, just before Bali Maharaj could become Indra, the last part was to give a donation to a Brahmana. And any first Brahmana who came to give a donation. And after that, um, Bali Maharaj would become the, by that giving that donation to Brahmana, completion, that is a completion of the yagya, he would become the lord of the all the three worlds. Swarglok, um, um, because demigods control the lower planets and Earth also. And they are the maintainers, they control. We know that all of our senses are controlled by Devatas, and the leader of all the Devatas is Indra. So all the three lok, which is lower planetary system, middle planetary system, higher planetary system, he would become the lord of all the three planetary system. And then Vaman Dev came, very beautiful small boy, carrying a kamandalu and a stick. Um, and he came and he said, "Give me a donation of 3 steps of land." So Bali Maharaj laughed. Bali Maharaj said, "First, you are a dwarf. Your height is so small. And then 3 steps of land. Ask anything, I will give you." So Bali Maharaj says, "No, no. I should be satisfied with what my minimum needs is. Extravagance is not good. Give me just 3 steps of land." Then the Lord showed his opulence. And with 1 step, he covered the lower and the middle planetary system. With the second step, he covered the higher planetary system. And he, like, whatever comes underneath his feet, like in that expand, like 3 step, matlab, whatever comes within 1 step, everything is yours. Then another step. So in one, he stretched his leg. He kept one leg at the bottom of the universe, and he stretched his leg up to the middle planetary system. So all these planetary system are his. And with second, he's kept his leg there, like he's in the middle planetary system. From there to bottom, he covered everything. Then from there to top, he covered everything. And now he said, "Now I covered everything. in 2 steps of land. Now, where do I keep the third step? Then Bali Maharaj was Bali, he was just Bali. He was Bali Dana. He became Bali Maharaj after this incident. So Bali Maharaj said, the uh, the owner cannot be greater. The wealth cannot be greater than the owner. The owner is greater than the wealth. I own all these things, and all this thing that I owned is yours. Now you can take me also, and you can put your third step on my head. And he fully surrendered. Initially, he was surrendering. There was some, it was not a full surrender. There was some anger also when the Lord took everything. But then, when he understood this is Narayan, he felt himself fortunate because of the descendancy of Prahlad Maharaj. And he said, put your third step on my head. Um, and the Lord became, Lord put the third step on his head. Then the Lord eternally became the servant of Bali Maharaj by seeing his devotion. So later on, Bali Maharaj will become Indra. It is said that every desire you have will be fulfilled at some point of time. But that was not the time for Indra to be changed. Indra can be changed only at the end of a Manvantara. 71 Divya Yugas. Indra cannot be changed in middle. That's how this creation is designed. So anybody who comes, the Lord helps to kill the demons or all these yagyas, destroy all these yagyas, because everything is, it is the Lord's, everything belongs to Him. He maintains everything the way they should be maintained. And different living entities, because of envious nature and greedy nature, they try to violate, and the Lord curb all their actions, and the Lord maintains properly the whole three planetary system. Then the Lord came as Hamsa avatar. Hamsa avatar is swan incarnation, and swan incarnation, he taught Narada and he taught the four Kumaras the teachings of Bhakti Yoga. This comes in 11th Canto Bhagavatam, where the four Kumaras ask few questions to Brahma about how can one get control over the senses and the mind. And the mind is always engaged in the object of the senses. How can one free oneself living in this world from these attachments and become fully God conscious, fully Krishna conscious? So Brahma became bewildered and like, how do I answer this question? And from at that point of time, this Hamsa avatar came, the swan incarnation. And then he spoke the teachings to the four Kumaras and Brahma and Narada. So that was the purpose of Hamsa avatar. Then we know the Manvantara. Manvantara is the Manus. They are Manvantara avatar, or they are empowered to become Manu. Of course, they are not Vishnu Tattvas, but that potency, whatever potency anybody has, is coming from Krishna, and so is the Manvantara avatar also. And they are very powerful. The Manus are very, very powerful. They are empowered by the Lord. That's why is an incarnation, Manvantara avatar. So naturally, if you are the leader of this universe, if you are ruling this universe has so many evil elements, so many miscreants. So you should be powerful enough to defeat all the miscreants for all the 71 Divya Yugas. So many demons keep coming and going, coming and coming and going, right? So he is empowered to subdue the miscreant rulers um, and rule. Then there is Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari is the incarnation of Narayan. I'll speak 2 more minutes, and probably this chapter we will divide into two, because there are more incarnations, few more incarnations, and then the glories of, um, then comes the glories of Krishna and um, uh, the various forms of Vishnu's, and the glories of the Lord. They are the last section. So Dhanvantari came from the churning of milk ocean. Um, Before the nectar was produced, this Lord came, and he is the one who started the Ayurveda science, curing the life. And his disciples are Ashwini Kumaras. They are like the doctors. but the whole understanding comes from Dhanvantari. Um, it is said that simply by the fame of Dhanvantari, the diseases are cured. Simply by remembering Dhanvantari, the diseases are cured. Is that incarnation? Then there is Purusha incarnate. Then there is Parashuram. So Parashuram is the incarnation who defeated the Kshatriya ruling kings generations 21 times. He annihilated them. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport the kings are meant to give protection. But if the kings start exploiting the kingdom, then those Kshatriyas are like Shudras who are selfish. Now, naturally in Kali Yuga, all the Kshatriyas are Shudras. Just like we see when Maharaj Parikshit wanted to um, um, mm, mm, like go on a tour to see how is the kingdom. Then he saw this Kali who is beating the bull, and the bull was standing on one leg. And this Kali, he was dressed like a king. So Maharaj Parikshit told him, "You are a Shudra and you are dressed like a king." So now anybody dresses like a king and like in tuxedos and others. But that time, everybody would dress up according to their varnas. But Kali was, all the varnas are destroyed when Kali comes. So he was dressed like a king and he was a Shudra. So these Kshatriyas, when they are ruling, and the purpose of ruling is to give protection, listen from Brahmanas, protect the citizens. Nobody should be, no. Parishit Maharaj says, in my rule, nobody had tears in his eyes other than you. Nobody is lamenting other than you. Who is the cause of a lamentation? If you tell me, even if that person is a devata, I'm going to uproot him. That is the real king. But these Kshatriya kings, they became very corrupt, very selfish, self-motivated, and they would not concern with Brahmanas. And that's what happened during time of King Vena also. King Vena. That time Prithu Maharaj came. And this time the whole dynasties of Kshatriyas are corrupt Kshatriyas. And that time Parashuram came. And he killed the Kshatriya generation 21 times till there was a proper ruling. But in Kali Yuga, there is no need. It is the destiny of Kali Yuga. Then the last one that we discussed today is Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra was born to Maharaj Dasharath um, in the Ikshvaku dynasty, which is the dynasty in which the sun god comes. Um, he went to the forest when his father asked him to banish Lord Ram for 14 years. He vanquished Ravana. He became very aggrieved because of the loss of Mother Sita. And in order to get to Lanka, he glanced over the ocean with his red hot eyes, and the ocean trembled in fear. He um, curbed the pride of Ravana, who thinking that he can do anything, and he killed Ravana, and then he ruled and lived like a moral human, although he's a supreme personality of Godhead himself. This Lord Ramchandra appearance is also coming. Next Tuesday is Ram Navami. And the next incarnation or the Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna. And we'll discuss about Krishna and further. And this is going from Satya Yuga all the way to Kali Yuga. Then after Krishna comes Vyasadeva, Buddha, Kalki, and then further discussion. So it's 11. I think this should be good enough for. We discussed almost half of the chapter today. Um, okay, let's see if there is any discussion at this point of time. Any questions? Mm,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. Thank you so much.
thank
But Prabhuji, one question: how to remember all this? It's very difficult to remember on top of all these incarnations and their lineage. Any guidance there, or we just whatever absorb we can absorb, and then I don't know. It's too much. I've heard read this couple of times, but can't able to remember.
Yeah, well, just um, more than remembering, it's the hearing part, bro. Um, like we see the sages in the beginning, they asked um, uh, Sutta Goswami, They said, we cannot stop about hearing about the Lord. So please tell us about the Lord, and please tell us about all the incarnations of the Lord and all the activities of all the incarnations. And if you see Bhagavatam, right now, Brahmaji is like, he wanted to glorify the Lord, and he's telling how wonderful is the Lord in every form, in any way the Lord comes, everything the Lord does is very attractive and very wonderful. Um, and we see Sukadev Goswami Maharaj also describing all of them in detail in the various cantos. In seventh canto, more than 70% of seventh canto is about Lord Nrsingadev, uh, building up to the passing of Lord Nrsingadev appearance. Lord Rama is there, and all the Hamsa avatar and what instruction Hamsa avatar gave, and how Parashuram fought, and how Hiranyaksha was killed by Varaha, and how Kurma and Samudra Manthan happens. And any pastime, like Brahmaji is describing, and Sukadev Goswami take pleasure in doing that. So our our process is Shravanam Kirtanam. So we hear, we glorify, we hear, we glorify. And remembrance, we remember uh, Krishna. Remember Krishna through his holy names. Um,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanwad Pranam. 4 Kumaras also avatar, Prabhuji.
They are not Vishnu Tattva Mata, they are Jiva Tattvas, but they are
Oh,
Shaktya Avesh. Shaktya Avesh means empowered for a specific function. And that's how they became the Acharya for Kumar Sampradaya. They heard the teachings from Hamsa Avatar and from Brahma himself, and then they passed on the knowledge and they preached, and they have a whole Sampradaya. That was their purpose.
okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, here, all these incarnation pastimes, will they happen at every start of the millennium, like after inhalation? Or is this the knowledge that is being passing through,
They are
your,
spread throughout, Mataji. Some comes at the start, some comes in the middle. Whenever there is a need, parityanaya sadhuna vinashaya duskritam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. In every yuga, whenever there is a need, the Lord appears again and again. Yuga yuga means yuga after yuga, again and again, to establish dharma and to kill the miscreants.
So will it be the same incarnations like after? My question is related to okay. Let's say after this Kali Yuga, again Satya Yuga starts. No, after Vaivasvat Manu, another Manu starts, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end of this Manu, there will be inhalation and everything will be destroyed, right?
Till
So
Mother Earth, there will be
yeah,
a ocean. Yes.
yeah, okay. So after again, when the new Manu starts, will these happen again, like all these incarnations, and will there be different incarnations?
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So, number of incarnations is described as unlimited. The Lord has unlimited incarnation. Lord has incarnation in each and every species. And same will also come. The Lord is infinite. Lord pastimes, Lord incarnation. Everything about the Lord is infinite.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So there is one more question. Like Indra, we see him fearing if someone is doing so much austerity for his position. So will that be for his position, um, or any other fear that he had? Like if they come over him, if they take that position, they may not do justice for that position, or how do we understand that, Prabhuji, from Indra?
Yeah, the first one is he wants to be in that position. It's not fear of the service may not happen properly. That is pure.
Yeah.
That is pure. But the fear of losing, oh, I want to remain the king. And if somebody becomes the king, then I lose my position. Then What's my astitva?
It's
If I
just
lose,
like as if we lose a job. What should I do next?
same. That material desire is there, and that's why Indra becomes insecure. But then Indra has a tenure, and the Lord has given Indra that position for a particular time. And when something happens, the Lord protects Indra's tenure for that time. When Lord wants something, nobody can take it away from Indra. But Indra always has fear of losing it because he cannot be eternally in that position. It's a temporary position, maybe for a very long time, but temporary. So it's natural for a living entity to have fear of losing something that does not belong to him. And nothing belongs to us. Only Astitva is that I'm part and parcel of the Lord. I have a relationship with the Lord. And my serving the Lord in that relationship is eternal. But every other identification is temporary. And that's why fear is everywhere in this material existence. As long as we don't identify ourselves on a spiritual platform, fear is natural.
And it's related to faith also, right, Prabhuji? So if we have faith on, like, I mean, he's, as far as I know, he's also a devotee of the Lord, right? Like,
Yes.
Lord, right? So he's not like fully surrendered or something like.
Yeah,
So
correct. He's a mixed devotee. He has his own desires and he wants to serve the Lord. I mean, just like us, but he is much more advanced, but just like us. We have desires and we want to serve the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. Thank you all for joining. Grantha Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Thank you for joining. Dhanvad Pranam. Prabhuji's Mataji's Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very
Prabhuji.
much,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Dandat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare